Hello and welcome back to day number 38 of my road to 200 kilogram total. Well, it's been a lot of days since I've started this journey. Well, actually not that much. A little over a month. If we're counting a month as 31 days. Anyways, yeah, for today, again, there's really not much difference compared to what I've been usually doing. So this is more or less I can see that the training program is more of a, how do you call it, it's definitely utilizing linear progression a lot, just increasing the weights, keeping the reps are more or less the same, except there are going to be some days where there'll be a difference in the amount of sets or reps depending on the intensity. So yeah, that's what Fitz is playing around with, and that's what I play around with also when dealing with a lot of my beginner clients, not necessarily for weightlifting, but more or less for general fitness. So yeah, it's basically just linear progression, just every week increasing the weight, and then have a back off week, reducing intensity. So that was last week. Right now I'm back to a more, I wouldn't say more intense, especially since this is still actually kind of it's fairly light, with the exception of the front squats, because for the front squats I'm going to 100 kilos for a 2x4. And from what I've told you guys about during the last video, I've been feeling pretty bad about my back squats, but because it didn't actually, well, if you watch it, it doesn't go that much further down. So I ended up asking Fitz if that was alright, and according to him, my back squats, the depth of my back squats are plenty enough. Unless my leverages are like, the length of my limbs in proportion to my torso and in proportion to my arms, or everything is really well suited for back squatting as to grass, then there really isn't much use. Not really much use. It's still pretty good. It's still optimal to go ass to grass for back squats, but in my case, I don't need to. The depth I reach is plenty deep enough according to Fitz, so since he's my coach, I'm gonna believe him, because athletes will not succeed unless there's that innate trust, or that 100% trust in what your coach tells you. So I'm choosing to trust him because I really want to improve. Well, anyways, enough of that, enough of philosophy, if you can call it that. For today, it's more or less a snatch day, so I'm a lot more, compared to last week with triples, this is now doubles, so it goes the same with the overhead squats as well. The complex today was double snatch and 2 overhead squats, and surprisingly it was fairly light, especially what I came from last month during week 3, I think. Yeah, this is definitely light, starting off with 40, but I was surprised to see that my working sets are actually just at 45 kilos, so a lot lower than what I thought. But then again, you just have to trust that your coach knows what he's doing. So I just, even if I knew I could do more, I was just going to attack this with the same intensity as if I was doing more. Alright, the focus for myself with these snatch, doubles, and overhead squat, yeah, I wanted to avoid that wherein I end up rocking a little back onto my heels during the receiving. There we go. Now that was perfect actually. I've been really focusing a lot on keeping my toes planted on the whole foot, planted on the ground during the first and second pull, and only going up to my toes at the end of the second pull. And it's been working out a lot, and I can safely say that the form of my snatches are a lot better than my clean and jerks, which is not usually the case with a lot of people, especially with beginners like myself. Yes, I do indeed consider myself a beginner, unless I've been lifting for more than 3 or 4 years with an actual weightlifting coach. I don't think I can ever consider myself. I'm only speaking for myself, by the way. I'm not saying that people who train without coaches aren't for a long time won't be considered past beginner, but I'm saying that for myself. That's a standard that I set for myself, that unless I have an actual weightlifting coach guiding me for more than, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, then I can't really say I'm more than a beginner. As you can see, because I'm still making a lot of tweaks to my form, a lot of back and forth between what I should be doing, on what I think I should be doing, and what Fitz says I should do. So yeah. Anyways, moving on to, that was the 6th set for that complex. Next up would be front squats. Now a lot of you guys know that I love front squats way more than back squats. There's just something with the back squats wherein I lose a lot of balance. I don't have that much balance unless it's a low bar parallel back squat from what that I really managed to groove the technique down for when I did powerlifting. But with As the Grass high bar back squats, I'm really finding the issue more of the balance and utilizing that bounce underneath, which is why for the front squats, front squats are really what gives me my strength. In the front squat is what gives me a lot of balls to attempt heavy cleans and not be afraid of like 95 100 kilo clean jerks. Yeah, so that's why I'm way more, even though I'm better at the snatch, I'm a lot more confident with heavy weights in the clean and jerk because of my front squat, comparatively speaking. Anyways, yep, that was just 2 sets of 4, keeping my knees out as much as possible. Alright, now this was actually surprisingly the hardest part. This was a superset of what do they call it? Strict press and pendlay row. This was actually easy a few weeks ago because it was such lightweight, but this is the first time that I've actually had to do anything above 50 kilos, so bringing out the yellows for this one. Oh wow, that listening is because of the sweat. Yes, I'm a very sweaty boy. Anyways, this was actually the hardest part. This was 5 sets, but I only recorded 3 sets of this. And I'm gonna be honest when I say that during the 5th set, I was not able to finish the 5th rep. I was actually kind of happy with myself that I made it past the 4th set without failing. So I'm not too beat up about the fact that I wasn't able to finish that 5th set for the strict press, because my strict press and my shoulder strength is just ridiculously low. Yeah, I'm definitely not the strongest guy when it comes to overhead pressing. So the fact that I'm back to like 50 kilos, it's actually giving me a lot of confidence again in myself. Well, yeah, you know I'm serious when the shirt is off. This is actually the 3rd set. Ooh, yeah, the 1st set was honestly the hardest one. And I probably should be bringing it below chin or back to resting state, but I'll ask Fitz about that. Well, anyways, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys liked it, and subscribe for more, because tomorrow it's still going to be more of this. Alright, thank you guys.